Good morning again. Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk about the word unless. Unless, as in the case of mitigating or extenuating circumstances. Extenuating is a word. And there's going to be a story connected. I like to have stories in my videos sometimes. So this is going to be kind of a candid and direct story that might upset viewers. If you are easily upset, maybe you don't watch this video. I'm going to call into subject here some very graphic stuff. So you're familiar with Jeffrey Dahmer, the story, the actual human being who murdered a bunch of people, famous mass murderer, serial killer. Jeffrey Dahmer had kids. Okay, a lot of these people, before they get arrested, before they are apprehended, they reproduce. And now I don't want to talk so much about his children, but the symbolic rule of the commandments where people are encouraged to honor thy father and mother. This is just one example where symbolic rules must include the word unless to make any kind of sense whatsoever. There is an opportunity, and I'm addressing this opportunity in this video for people to better understand the commandments, rules in general, symbolism in general, where something cannot be expected to work across the board, irrespective of context, irrespective of circumstances, because to honor thy father and mother only makes sense, if you'll pardon the expression, when they're not dumb fucks, all right? When they're not incompetent dumb fucks, all right? So in the case of Jeffrey Dahmer's kids, I think we're in agreement that to honor thy father and mother in this case doesn't make any sense at this point, right? I mean, he's passed on, I think, but even back in the day, Jeffrey Dahmer was a dumb fuck. So what is the sense to be made of the Ten Commandments and any symbolic rules where they're prudent, obviously? Well, it's, you know, in the case where it makes sense. So here's another example. You should not drive in the state of California with empty alcoholic containers in your vehicle. It's patently illegal across the board. There are no formal excuses, no conditions, no unlesses. But there are, aren't there? In reality, what if you have a bag of trash you picked up off the side of the road? You're being a good Samaritan, doing a good deed, and there happen to be empty alcoholic containers in the bag that have nothing to do with you. And in fact, maybe you don't even drink. So should you be cited for possible, intoxication while driving because you had empty alcoholic containers? They can do that. It's illegal. And if we are refusing to acknowledge that there are mitigating or extenuating circumstances, such as you were just picking up trash, it was the context, then we are punishing good behavior with absolute adherence to rules, symbolic rules. The Ten Commandments are no different than any law in the sense that they are symbolic of ideal behavior unless your parents are a dumb fuck, which happens, unfortunately. It happens. If your parents are dumb fucks and they're doing things they shouldn't do and they're just bad people, or if they're just acting badly most of the time, you owe those people no obedience. I want to be clear about this. And the other commandments also have extenuating circumstances, just like laws and policies across the board have cases where you should not necessarily do what they say. If you look real closely at them, there are proper examples of when every prohibited behavior not only should be allowed, but must be allowed by someone, somewhere. So, I want to go on record here and say that the biggest opportunity that I see, and I mentioned this in well up to half my videos, is for people to understand symbol abuse, understand context, how it creates the meaning. It assigns and establishes the meaning and nature of a decision, of a behavior. Without the context, you have no idea what's going on. The part in the middle doesn't even mean anything. What happened means nothing outside of the where, when, who, why, and how. You can't just ignore all that stuff. You can't just ignore the where, when, who, why, and how. Those all matter. Stop obsessing about the what. And that's all you can do if you're just looking at the symbol. If you're just looking at the commandment and whatever it can fit to, without regard to who, when, where, how, and why, you are doing injustice. You are doing something damaging. It is a sin. You become a criminal yourself. You need to understand this, that to demand obedience to thy father and mother, regardless of unless, makes you a sinner. And you can take that to the grave. You can take that to, I will take that to the highest court, above human court if necessary, whatever. If it sounds crazy, you just hang on a second. We're just getting started. Unless the context dictates otherwise. Unless your parents are dumb fucks. Because that happens. Reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.